medical missions to Central and South America. And on the very first trip to Honduras, during those medical clinics, I had the opportunity to ride tandem on a motorcycle from school to school and actually vaccinate people against polio, as well as pets where we vaccinated against rabies. So that was the end of the program, or near the end of the program, to end polio in Latin America. I mentioned that just because I thought it was an honor to be able to be part of the program that actually vaccinated people against polio. Honduras is a very poor country, and there are some there that would want your money, but and that's really kind of to be expected when people are so poor that they might try to forcefully take your money. But apparently, because we were there to help the people, we were safe, and our money was safe while we were working the missions. This little speech is in memory of Cecil and Emma Graves. Cecil was a family friend who contracted polio when he was 10 years old. He was born in 1900. And it left him paralyzed from the waist down, and his arms were somewhat affected, it seemed to me. His mother, Emma, was his caregiver, his only caregiver. In 1934, when I was 9, we moved from near San Fernando to 10 miles to the west to a little village called Chatsworth. One of the people observed driving around slowly in his 4-cylinder 1931 Model A Ford was this person, Cecil, who, as I said, had contracted polio when he was age 10. Cecil could not use his legs, and his arms were somewhat, as I said, somewhat affected, but he could drive his vehicle slowly down the road to get out of the house, visit friends, and do errands. Cecil's mother, Emma, was, as I said, his only caregiver, and she used ropes and pulleys, what we call a block and tackle, to get him in and out of his wheelchair to and from his car. His car was modified. The gear, shift, clutch, and brake were extended up into in reach of his hands. My sister Thursel befriended Cecil, which led him to become a family friend. Cecil would drive into our yard and park, and I had 10 brothers and sisters, and so he had a lot of people to go out and chat with him while he was sitting there in his car in our yard. When that sister that befriended Cecil was getting married, Cecil was outside the church in his 4-cylinder 1931 Model A Ford, and before the newlyweds emerged, Cecil had left, and my heart went out to Cecil because he could not marry and live a normal life. Cecil was paralyzed from the waist down. His brain function was exceptionally good. We being teenagers, and Cecil being quite knowledgeable, we would go to Cecil to get answers to questions we had. Cecil was our Siri. I once asked Siri, "What makes the world go round?" And Siri's answer was, "Money/love." I wonder what Cecil would have answered. We will never know. I was oblivious to the future happening of my becoming associated and a member of the organization that has been and is the main force ridding the world of this terrible disease. 3 cheers for Rotary. But then along came Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and of course then the World Health Organization. They both must be recognized for their completion of the team needed to rid the world of polio. When it's finally accomplished, we will all be cheering.